Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage and welcome to episode 17 of Sid Meier's Civilization 5 Brave New World Edition. We're still playing as Greece and trying to get ourselves a diplomatic victory, which I don't think is going to be too much of a problem. However, as a viewer did point out at the end of the last video, there's a very real possibility that we may accidentally backdoor a cultural victory here. My culture is higher than anybody else's, as is my tourism. The main reason that I was actually doing that was to try and make sure that when other people start adopting their ideologies, that mine becomes the dominant one and I don't suffer any unhappiness. Now, we're already starting to get influential with a few of the other civilizations, not terribly influential, but we are still rising slowly, and it does take quite a while before you can actually win with a diplomatic victory. As we are ahead of the curve, we need to make sure we stay ahead in tourism, but not so far ahead that we easily overthrow everybody. Apart from that, we're pretty much set to win, and I'm half tempted to start a war with the AI just to give me something to do. The optimal target probably would be France, mainly because they actually captured one of the city-states, Vilnius, which would be quite nice to actually get back. Now, it doesn't make a lot of difference, because if city-states start to get captured, you need less votes in the World Congress anyway. However, I could build myself a navy, come over here and take it by sea. I've also considered the possibility of bringing a settler over here and actually settling this land here near where this barbarian camp is, potentially being able to get some oil, some aluminum. I said aluminum because I wasn't sure whether I was going to say aluminium or aluminum there, so we'll stick with British for this video. Wasn't sure whether to come over here and try and get this oil, this aluminium, and this marble, potentially two sources of fish as well. But that would make our city miles away from anywhere, and it probably isn't worth doing. But it would really be nice to take Vilnius back, and of course, if we did, we wouldn't technically be between France, we would be between Tyr and Vilnius, and we would get the coal from Vilnius, which could possibly be useful. So I'm going to consider that, and we're going to consider starting to build a navy as well as we go. But let's go on with the next turn. The only person likely to declare a war on us at the moment is Carthage. She keeps bullying city-states. She's been annoying me quite a little bit, has Dido, but I don't think she is too much of a threat. We've still got over 5,500 gold in the bank, so it's very, very easy to rush by ourselves military if we should need one. As if the Songhai haven't got many cities, but their capital is absolutely huge down here. I also noticed earlier they've got this great engineer. It was sitting on this hill at the end of the last turn. They have moved that slightly, so not too sure what they are doing there. Either he's going off to build a manufactory. But we will keep looking around. Kuala Lumpur moving all of their units. I've pretty much given up on the religious game now. It's getting a little bit too tricky to get missionaries around everywhere, but I'm using my religious power, my faith, to buy great merchants, which will give me a lot more money. So Corinth has finished the stock exchange. It's a little bit of a shame that we can't actually start getting ourselves some battleships at this point. Frigates, I fear, are a little bit useless, so I'm not going to bother with them right now. But it would be nice to get ourselves some extra things. We're not going to go for things like the hotel and the broadcast tower everywhere. Having culture's quite nice. In fact, there's nothing wrong with having the extra culture. The broadcast tower is fine at this point. I'm not going to bother with the hotels though, because that will double our tourism output. What else could be useful over here? I suppose we could get the stable, because we do have horses, so that would give us some extra production. So there's no harm in getting at that. Let's go ahead and do that. And we've still got the problem of workers having nothing to do. Now, we're working towards replaceable parts, but then we have railroads queued up. Now, once we can construct railroads, we're going to have our workers quite busy converting all of our roads and upgrading them. So we're not actually getting rid of any workers just yet. No point building anything in this hex because you would be too far away from a city to work it. You can apparently go over here and build a trading post, so you may as well. And let's hop on to the next turn. So just going into turn 290, although we've got more units with nothing to do. These guys I was just bringing down as a bit of a defense from Dido, should she decide to try and attack, though I think we're going to be fine. We are still in a defensive pact with Morocco. And Dido is now busy declaring war on Persia. which is a little bit of a shame. If she starts taking out Perseopolis, it could end up being our direct neighbour, which is going to be a little bit of a pain. Declaration of friendship with Morocco has run out. The fact that you were denounced by Carthage no longer holds any sway with other leaders, because everybody, Carthage did denounce me earlier on, but because everybody hates Carthage, they don't they don't care what Carthage's opinion of me is. They don't care what Carthage's opinion of anybody is. They're warmongers. They've just declared war on Persia. Now, I don't think I'm going to get involved with that war. I mean, I could do, particularly if they do start to try and take Perseopolis, because then they're going to be right next to Mackinac, which I don't particularly want them to be. But what I could do is wait until they take Persia and then try and take it back. They do have a bigger military than me at the moment. At least last time I checked the demographics, they did. No, I do still... No, yes, they have the most soldiers. I am second, so I'm not too far behind them. And as I said, I could easily buy my way into the lead there should I need to. But we're going to leave that for now. We are going to have a quick word with the Moroccans and see if we can renew our friendship. No, he doesn't want to do that anymore. That is very strange. Okay, well, that's fine. I see what you're playing at. So, you guys have finished doing that, and again, everything's pretty much already upgraded here, isn't it? This cattle isn't, but it's too far away. So, let's sleep you for a turn, and go on to the next turn. See what Dido starts to do. We'll certainly go for the mutual embassy. It'll allow us to reduce the chance of her going to war with us. So here's my question. Do I start building up a navy and potentially take Vilnius back from France? Or do I start to build up some land forces and potentially rescue Persia? Because I don't really want to take any more cities for myself. I mean, Persia's... I obviously can't see any of the improvements on the tiles here, but they do have some nice stuff around. They have silver and they have citrus. But I don't really want to be Carthage's neighbour, to be quite honest. Interesting. Decisions. Temple is finished at Mackinac, so we can go on and get ourselves... What would be best here? Don't have a lot of aluminium, so I want to avoid building too many hydro plants. I guess we can just go for the stock exchange. They're not outputting a lot of money at this point, but everything does help, I suppose. No stable, but they do have cattle, and they have sheep. So we could get some extra production going there, so why not? Actually got 2 cattle and a sheep, so that'll be 3 extra production. So that makes a lot of sense to do that. 1, 2, 3. See, this aluminium here is always going to be out of our reach, although if the borders pop in this direction, we will be able to upgrade it and get the aluminium. Then we can have some more hydro plants. Finish the temple at Knossos. What would be the most useful thing to have here? Let's just get ourselves a few more broadcast towers just to get some more culture going. You guys are going to build that trading post. You guys are going to do nothing again because I still haven't got anything for you to do. Could do with a great scientist or two actually, so that we can get railroads up and running. Archaeologists over here are going to create an archaeological dig, as you managed to get there quite nicely. And on to the next turn. Now this one we're definitely going to dig up because it's not within our borders. Hopefully Kuala Lumpur... Well, if Kuala Lumpur pops, we will still be able to dig it up anyway. If Persia pops over here, we won't be able... We'll get forced out unless we have open borders, which I don't think we do. And we should be okay. France still wants to give me gold per turn for salt. Are you willing to give me 7 yet? No, you are not. Okay, will you continue to give me 6? Better than nothing, I suppose. Just having a quick scan around the map, just trying to make sure if there's anything going on. I do like how Kuala Lumpur has extended very much in this direction just to get some salt. Although I do suppose they're in an area where there isn't an awful lot around them. I'm actually hoping they expand over here and get this oil, because that is 3 oil which will then be given to me. Now I can pay them money to improve a tile, but until they actually expand their borders onto it, then I can't do an awful lot about that at all. You guys again, still doing nothing. And on to the next turn. Still quite a few of these Carthaginian boats around here. We do need to be very careful of those as well. Especially if they do declare war on us, or if we declare war on them. Try and keep my eye on things with Persia and Dido and just see how things are going. Napoleon has completed the porcelain tower, which is fine. I wasn't really bothered about that anyway. I assume if Carthage is attacking any sitter... Sitter? I assume if Carthage is... Because I was reading Sophia and trying to say city. If Carthage is attacking any city, I assume it's Persepolis. It doesn't have the highest amount of strength. Mind you saying that Athens is only 60 at this point. Nobody is playing a particularly aggressive game here. New York has finished its submarine, which is now floating in the middle of the city. What we are going to do here is... Could go for the forge, because New York would be a good place to produce land units if America or Carthage go to war with us. And it's only 2 turns away, so let's go ahead and do that. And we're going to take our submarine, and we're going to have a bit of an explore with it. When I say explore, I mean we're going to go and park it outside France. Corinth has now finished the stable, which is all good stuff. Do we particularly need anything else? We could go and workboat up that fish, actually, because that's within range, so we should definitely go ahead and do that. You guys are still at a loose end, but I still really don't have anything for you to do right now, so let us just put you on pause for a turn. So this is why I was considering a war, because it's quite uneventful at the moment. You want to give me 1 gold per turn for me to open my borders. I am not interested in that. Especially while you're at war with Dido anyway. Yeah, their capital is actually starting to take bombard damage at this point. Now, I've got no interest in getting involved with the war, but if Carthage take Persepolis, then that could be a good time for me to declare war and try and move in. So I might start building some military units over here at Mackinac, just so that we can move in and deal with that should we need to. We do have the ability to build artillery as well, which is going to be very useful to us. And we're almost finished the stable over here as well. We've discovered replaceable parts.
Nothing is particular.
So we can now build the Statue of Liberty, which we were going to, and we can build the Great War Infantry and military bases. So lots of nice stuff going on here. This submarine has been produced. We're going to give you Wolfpack because it is an excellent upgrade. And we're going to do the same thing with the other submarine and start moving you out a little bit towards France. Okay, over here, let us actually get an artillery on the burn. I think we're going to need to. We do need another archaeologist, but we can always produce that somewhere else. In fact, we've just gone and done that at Argos, so I believe that is where you were heading. So let's get you down over onto this site here. Sparta has finished the submarine. Let's go ahead and get the temple. Argos has finished its archaeologist, so let us go and get ourselves the... Let's start getting a Great War Infantry. Let's start getting ourselves a bit of a military force while we're not in a particular rush to build a lot of different buildings. Athens is 6 turns away from producing Broadway. We should be okay with the Statue of Liberty because it is... you actually require the freedom ideology, which only we have, so we should be okay there. These cows are connected up. There is a pasture there, so workers, you can come over here. I suppose we can get another trade route, another trade post on the go there. Still don't have a job for you guys. Waiting for it to spread here. Even here. I mean, I could just buy that tile, and that would give us a little bit more production. I suppose that's not a bad thing to do. It's only 155 gold, which is nothing compared to what we have. So let's move you on to there. Although it's recommending a trading post, I don't suppose that is a bad idea, but I guess a mine would be better. At least it would give us a very heavy production tile should we need one. Okay, so let's just keep creeping around with our submarine. Go down and have another look at Persia in a moment, see what's going on down there. Wow, Madrid Isabella has been captured by the Songhai. And bear in mind, I think they've already lost one city to Persia. Persia already took Barcelona. Madrid has been taken by the Songhai. They've just got Seville, which is their new capital down here. Seville isn't going to last long. Seville is... Spain is about to be no more. An interesting turn of events. Okay, so what do we need to do? Corinth has finished that workboat, which is very nice. You're going to go over here on to the fish. And you're going to fish. That oil's a bit in the middle of nowhere. Again, if Samarkand actually expanded out there, 1, 2, 3, we could potentially get that. What is Corinth going to do then? What would be useful for you? You're a little bit too far away from the front lines to be producing military units for us, but saying that, you're actually connected up by road, so you would get them there quite quick if you decided to do that. So let's go for another artillery here. New York has finished the forge. Let us get ourselves... Let's get a privateer. I don't think we have any privateers yet, and they are still good. Even when you have battleships, it takes a little bit longer to get yourself up to destroyers. You guys, I think, are actually going to build a mine, and then that tile will give us 4 production. Just so we can use that if we need to do a massive production rush on anything. You guys are doing exactly what I want you to do, which is to sit outside of Carthage so I can see what's going on over here, so I'm fine with that. Cargo ship. Let's have a look at... Let's just go from New York, we might as well. Let's just go for highest gold, which oddly enough at the moment is to Carthage. But I think we're going to go to Fez, because I'd sooner not feed money into the Carthaginians. And if I do go to war with them, then obviously those trade routes are just going to get pillaged, which is a little bit pointless. What were you guys doing? Trading post. And you were working your way towards France. And you guys were going to create an archaeological dig. On to the next turn. So we can see some Carthaginian troops moving into Persia. Isabella has made peace with Morocco. That's pretty much your only option now. You only have 1 city left. No interest in that Napoleon. Go away. Yeah, they've got cannons. See, they're still using cannons, and we are now up to artillery. And they've got riflemen, whereas we've got musketmen. I think riflemen are actually better than musketmen, though. Can we actually upgrade our musketmen yet? I don't think we can. Still, taking Perseopolis back shouldn't be too much of a problem. Research agreement is completed. Yep, we can actually upgrade all of these guys to riflemen. So we'll take advantage of that. We're also going to have a look over here, because I do have some over here. You guys are going to be upgraded. We'll just move you guys back over here, so we can upgrade you as well. All good stuff. Great merchant has been purchased in Athens. Where are we going to take you? I think we'll take you over to Samarkand. We're not too bothered about doing this in order to get the reputation with the city-states. We're just doing it for the cash, so that's absolutely fine. Musketmen, you guys can get upgraded. Just going to go around and upgrade a lot of the units that I find at the moment. You guys have now done that. Now we're really struggling to find work for our workers, so let's put you on to pause. And we'll continue to use this submarine. We're not playing as England, of course. We haven't got any of the naval bonuses, so travelling around the ocean is still quite slow. Persia seems to be covering quite nicely. A little bit strange. Yeah, they're moving around the back. I wasn't sure whether they were going to cut through and try and either pick on Kuala Lumpur or declare war on me. It just looks like they were trying to get into a better position to take Perseopolis at that point. I'm still building up my military forces, so I can't really go ahead and attack them right away. That would be stupid for me to try and do that. Sydney is bankrupt. And desires a trade route. Of course, you know, Persia would be very, very happy with us if we actually went and liberated their capital for them if it gets taken by Carthage. So it's certainly something we're going to consider doing. Just for lols more than anything. Okay, Sparta has finished its temple. Let's go ahead here and get ourselves a broadcast tower, because, you know, culture. Unit needs orders. You guys have finished with that. You could go up there and build another trading post, I suppose, so why not? Still haven't spread out towards this aluminium here. We could go and get a trading post there, though. Is this knight upgradable yet? Yes, it is. These pikemen are upgradable to lancers. In fact, the lancers are probably upgradable again as well. Just having a look, because I've got so many older military units that I've just kind of neglected and haven't really upgraded, and I really should do that. Not too sure about this cav. You know, you can't be upgraded at this point. So you guys, of course, with riflemen, we can actually now upgrade again, can't we? We can upgrade them to Great War Infantry. So we should definitely be doing that. It is burning through a little bit of our cash, but that's not really a problem. And we have plenty of it to spare. Where were the other units? There was a few down here. So you can be Great War Infantry, and you can be Great War Infantry. And there we go. It's all starting to look good at this point. You guys do nothing again. Let's go on to the next turn. Should have a quick look at the demographics, actually. Soldiers. We are now top. So we're top for everything. Upgrading those units definitely helped. Okay, let's just get you over here somewhere if we can. Next turn. Again, just keeping our eye on Persia. I mean, they may not be able to take it. You know, they've got a great general, they've got riflemen, so we've got better artillery than the Carthaginians. We've got better melee units than the Carthaginians. Although, saying that, they are doing quite a lot of damage to Persia. I don't know how much of an army Persia has, if it's got any at all at this point. But taking it back should be fairly easy, because there are some roads in, and it does look like it's fairly open terrain. So it should be easy enough for us to take back where possible. Kuala Lumpur desires the Statue of Liberty. Well, it is going to be built. We've now discovered railroad, which is fantastic. You're going to keep working your way out over here. And we get to choose ourselves a new line of production. Could go into plastics, get Christor Redentor, which would give us an extra 5 culture and reduce the cost of new policies. That could be very good. We could go into electronics so that we can get ourselves battleships, which we probably really need to do. And it would be nice to get flight. I'm not sure that we necessarily need the Christo Redentor, but there again, research tabs are really good as well. So I think we're going to go plastics, into flight, into electronics. That is our path for the next few turns at least. Privateer has now been finished, so we are going to avoid accidentally moving that submarine. Privateer, you are going to move out, and in fact we're going to move you towards France as well. Let's get you out in this direction. New York has finished its privateer, so let's go ahead and broadcast tower. Let's just get as much culture as we can. Great War Infantry, you can just go on to alert. Cargo ship, you are going to go back to Marrakesh, because that's the most gold coming in. Great War Infantry, you can now go back out here and then go on to defensive. You guys, I think, can actually come down in this direction as well. Let's put you on the hill, actually. You guys, now we need to start building roads. So get yourself onto this tile here, and you are going to route to this tile here. So even though the symbol is still road, they will upgrade it to railroads now. I'm not going to bother upgrading the road into Samarkand, even though we originally built it. We're still connected. We don't really need it to be done. But roads are very, very useful for us. The main reason roads are useful is because, railroads, is because they increase the amount of gold that we get. So, if you look at a city connection, it should tell you. Where is it? We got a free worker? C. Roads. An unbroken chain of roads allows you to move units more quickly. Connecting cities to your capital will provide a large amount of gold per turn. But connecting a railroad also cities to, increases the production bonus by 25% of cities connected to the capital. So it's not going to improve our gold per turn. In fact, it's going to make it a little bit less because we're going to be paying more maintenance on the railroad. But it will improve our production everywhere else, which is an ideal thing, really. Cargo ship, you are going to go to Marrakesh as well, because it seems to be a great city to trade with. Cavalry at Knossos is going to do what exactly? I think you're going to probably sit down here on the hill, and we'll put you inside Knossos anyway. Submarine. Continue your exploration towards France. On to the next turn. So, let's try and get one more turn in. Shame we didn't manage to get the war started this time around, but Perseopolis is still looking in a bit of a situation. I'm not too sure why these things... I don't know how many units they've got around Persia, of course, because we can't see them, but I'm surprised that this cannon at least hasn't been taking a bit of bombard damage from Perseopolis. So they could have an absolute ton of units around the south side of the city. Just be careful with this great general. They could use it to steal some land, which I wouldn't be particularly happy about. Now, when we get plastics, of course, we'll also be able to produce infantry, which will be really nice. Now, obviously, the submarines aren't going to be an awful lot of use if we're trying to attack Vilnius, but at least if we get attacked by any French ships, they will be able to fight them off nice and easily. You guys, I think, are just going to get up here on the hill. You guys are going to stay put. You guys are going to stay put. What did I just click on? You guys are going to stay there. Cargo ship, we are sending you to... We're just sending everybody to Marrakesh, because, you know, why not? Marrakesh. So much money coming out of Marrakesh. This is why we never want to go to war with Morocco. We're just making far too much money from them right now. We're going to pop you. There's another 1,600 gold. Thank you very much. Puts us almost back up to the 10,000 mark. We do have time for another turn, so let's go ahead and do that, although we've got a unit needing orders. We have a worker who is no longer busy. So what are we going to do with you? Well, we do need to get a railroad going. That's certainly true. So I think what we're going to do is we are going to move you up onto this road, and we're going to connect Argos to Athens first, I believe. And let's start getting this. Privateers do move pretty slow, which is a little bit of a shame. And I've clicked next turn again, but once again, wasn't an awful lot we can do. I am going to accept open borders with Darius simply because he is in a bit of a war. I'm not sure how him having access to my borders is going to help, but I will allow him to do so anyway. He's now lost his capital, though. This is where things start to get interesting. Do I go to war with Persia? Not Persia, Carthage. Do I go to war with Carthage and try and recover Persia's capital? I'm not going to declare it on this turn. It is possible that Persia might be able to take it back. We don't want it to be able to grow too big, though. So we do have to be careful here. We're still waiting for our artillery, and it would also be nice if we can get some bombers built. We have completed Broadway. We do have the most wonders. Songhai are actually second in number of wonders. You're going to continue to move over towards France. Athens is going to get straight... right, we could go for Neuschwanstein. Neuschwanstein, which would give us another great merchant point. And nobody's adopted an ideology yet. So I think we actually go for Neuschwanstein. Let's just check the ideologies. Yeah, no one has adopted an ideology yet, so we're still fairly safe on the Statue of Liberty at this point. You are going to stay there for now. You guys have finished whatever it was you were doing. So I think... Right, we've got a great musician here as well. You're going to create a great work, because that gets you out of the way and clears up a tile. We get 2 great musicians, don't we? There we go. You guys are going to get yourselves onto this tile, so you can start building a railroad down. This caravan is going to trade with... Let's continue trading with Washington. Let's get rid of some of these. Killed a Persian spy in Athens. Well, that wasn't very, very clever with you, was it? Darius lost his original capital. Okay, so... Let's just continue the move towards Vilnius. Do we take on Carthage? I think yes, and I think I'm going to have to buy myself some additional units before I can do so. I'd also quite like these archaeologists to finish what they're doing first. They're only a turn away. I think what we're going to do here is we're going to purchase... we're going to purchase another artillery. Did I just accidentally purchase cavalry? Almost certain that I actually clicked on artillery. Well, either way, if I didn't, that was a complete and utter misclick. Okay, fine. Next turn. And this will be the last turn. Archaeology. So, we can create a Kuala Lumpur artifact, a Moroccan artifact, or we can create a landmark improvement, which we don't want to do. So I think we are going to have a Moroccan artifact, because you've got more chance of getting another Moroccan artifact than you have a Kuala Lumpur artifact, which means you're more likely to get theming bonuses later on. Those archaeologists were giving us a little bit of vision, though, which we've now lost. So that is a bit of a pain. Let's go on to the next turn. Friendly trade route has been plundered. Yeah, I've already forgiven you for this, so... now you send any great profits back. I don't think they're going to be able to liberate your city. We've had a friendly trade route plundered, but I think that's actually Darius's trade route, not my own. You want to give me gold for salt. Will you actually give me 7 gold yet? Will you give me 6 gold? You... tight bastard. Okay, give me 5 gold then. Actually, no, screw that. You've got truffles. Give me truffles. There we go. So, it has been decided we are going to go to war with Carthage, because it was bound to happen at some point anyway, and the problem I've got with them now is they are my direct neighbour, and I don't want them to be my direct neighbour. I have actually lost a trade route. Must have been one of my trade routes. So, who was it plundered by? Dido plundered a trade route Darius established between... Oh no, so it was my trade route. Trade route plundered. Filthy Barbarians plundered a trade route between New York and Fez. Did they? How bloody rude. Why so many pop-ups? And between Corinth and Marrakesh. We're actually losing loads of trade routes. Yeah, we've got some stuff going on up here that we are going to need to deal with. So, Corinth is going to purchase a submarine. And that submarine has one job. We also need to purchase a new cargo ship in New York. And we need to purchase a new cargo ship in Corinth, which we can do, because even though there's a ship already in there, it is a submarine, so it's not a civilian unit. Mackinac has finished its artillery. It is going to produce another artillery, and I am going to move this artillery out. I'm going to move this cavalry out, which I shouldn't have bought in the first place, and I am also going to purchase another artillery. And that time I definitely did click on artillery. You guys... definitely railroad, you are going to route to this tile here, and you guys were working your way down to there, and you're going to route to this tile here. You guys can stay there. You're going to continue to have a little scout around. Could set up a city there. It would actually have food. And it's got 2 atolls and fish. It would also have oil and marble, but it wouldn't be a particularly great city by any stretch of the imagination. Let's continue to move this privateer out in that direction as well. This artillery is just going to sit tight. I'm not going to declare war on Dido on this turn because I'm about to end the video, and obviously I want the turn to end so that all of my units get their movement back, and then I can start moving them all towards Persepolis. And hopefully, see, they're now starting to take out Passagarde as well. So I do need to deal with them very, very quickly. I thought Persia had another city. Yes, they do. They've got Ecbatana up here. So we'll have to defend that. So, even though we are still on track for our diplomatic victory, we are going to war. No one's going to mind. Dido has been a pain in everybody's arse since the start of this game, and nobody really cares. So, thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you're still enjoying Civilization 5, and I'll see you next time. Until then, goodbye for now.